Welcome to the Wrestling Replay. This is Kato here with another Smackdown replay for you guys. But first and foremost, before we get started in doing anything, I want to, say rest in peace to Pat Patterson. Also give my condolences and prayers out to his family and friends, man. I know how losing a loved one can be, especially during these times. So definitely want to give my praise out to them. In the Smackdown episode, Pat Patterson was actually honored by having a 3-man tag team match with Big E, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke, and Sami Zayn, all of which were, past Intercontinental champions. Granted, the match wasn't as good as I thought it could be, but it was something they tried to throw together pretty much like last minute to try to honor Pat Patterson. I hope going forward that Pat Patterson has his own type of match, kind of like Andre the Giant has, the Andre the Giant Memorial, to remember Andre the Giant and what he has done for the business. I hope that Pat Patterson gets his own type of match, maybe a round robin style tournament, because, with the winner receiving the Intercontinental title shot. I feel like the Intercontinental title is where, you have your workers, those workers who are really good in-ring performers, hold the Intercontinental title. That's how I always seen it. That's how I view it. So having a round robin tournament, which would be pretty cool, because if you're going to have a tournament full of in-ring workers, you're going to get some of the best matches possible, at least while the tournament is going on. Maybe the tournament can cap off at, WrestleMania, or to cap off at Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, one of your bigger pay-per-views. I think that'll be pretty cool. But that's just my thought on it. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and, jump all the way into the Smackdown show and everything else that happened. The show did kick off with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Kevin Owens pretty much making a match for TLC with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns in a true TLC style match. So I think that will be pretty exciting. It's weird to me, man, how Kevin Owens, he kind of just jumped himself right into that title picture. I figured it would be someone, wasn't sure where he would go after the Jey Uso. I know him battling Drew McIntyre was pretty much like a segue. It gave them time to think who their next opponent should be. So the guy chosen was Kevin Owens. And that night, tonight on SmackDown, he actually teamed up with Otis, who was the former Money in the Bank winner and a possible candidate to fight Roman Reigns if he ever decided to cash in. They teamed up to face Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and get into that match. That was the main event match, because what we have here is the fact that Roman Reigns just does not accept anything less than winning. And Jey Uso has constantly been disappointing. He's been on a losing streak as of late. So it makes sense if Roman only thinks of winning, and that's the only way to really, show your appreciation to Roman Reigns, then Jey Uso is going to have to win matches. Him coming out, hurting people, after the matches and stuff like that, it's not going to suffice anymore. It's not going to be enough. He's going to actually have to start to put together some wins to really appease Roman Reigns. Now, initially, when he helped Roman Reigns defeat Drew McIntyre, I thought that would be enough for him to get back in the good graces of Roman Reigns, but clearly it wasn't. And that showed on SmackDown, because after the match, which they lost to Kevin Owens and Otis because of disqualification on behalf of Roman Reigns, he pretty much just jumped into the match while Jey was looked like he was on the verge of losing. Jumped into the match, put Kevin Owens in that new guillotine lock, which I love that he has a submission move. That Superman punch was getting a little weak. The spear was getting a little weak. Now he has another move that no man so far has been able to, find a way to get out of. So that's pretty cool. I like that. But he locked on that guillotine to Kevin Owens and forced Kevin Owens to pretty much pass out. But, of course, you're not the legal man. After the 5 count, the ref is going to have to call a match, and that's how they end up losing the match. Now, they begin to beat Kevin Owens down after the match with some chair shots, and it looked like Uso was hitting up to the top. He was going to hit a frog splash on Kevin Owens, or a Uso splash, let me say. It's not really a frog splash. but he was going to hit that on Kevin Owens. After the match, he had a chair laid down on Kevin Owens' chest, and Roman Reigns told him to get down. That ended up leading to Roman Reigns pretty much beating Uso with the steel chair because he was so frustrated. It finally came out, all his frustrations that was happening of him losing week after week after week. It pretty much came to light. It pretty much showed everything that he was holding inside. Now, I won't lie. Initially, when Roman Reigns didn't automatically accept Jey Uso, when Jey Uso appeared to turn heel, beating up Daniel Bryan, I was a little upset with that because I'm like, man, you're going to mess up the storyline. But I had my own storyline in my head of how I wanted things to go. But now with Roman Reigns still kind of, keeping Jey Uso at bay, still being disappointed in Jey Uso, it actually kind of goes along with the storyline that I had planned. Anyway, they just pretty much took a different route to get there. I'll make another video talking about that and breaking down the actual storyline I had with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and where I think it's going to lead to. But nonetheless, we're going to have a nice TLC match with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. I think that'll be a pretty good match. Seeing as though Kevin Owens, he's going to be able to take bumps. He's no stranger to that. And neither is Roman Reigns. As you see in the Hell in a Cell, he's not scared to take bumps either. So I like the fact that Owens is constantly bickering and calling Reigns out and pretty much making him want to fight Roman Reigns. Making Roman Reigns want to fight Kevin Owens and making Roman Reigns feel like he has to prove just how dominant he and his family is. So I like that for the most part. Now, another match I want to talk about, a match that actually kicked off the show, was Natalya and Bayley. Now, Natalya got her first clean win in a long time. This means a lot. It means that Natalya finally put herself, she's finally climbing back up the rankings. Will it put her into title contention? Probably not. But it's definitely, helping her climb the rankings. It's definitely allowing her to build some momentum. And for the fact she went against Bayley, I'm not sure if that's hitting towards her turning back to more of a face. So we'll have to actually see what happens with Natalya going forward. More importantly, we had Bianca Belair, who was doing commentary during the match, taunting Bayley the whole time, taunting her during the loss. So it looks like we're going to finally get Bayley and Bianca Belair in a feud going forward. What does that mean for Bianca Belair? She has been on a tear since she's joined Smackdown, right? If she can beat someone the caliber of Bayley, who is a former champion, who just got out of a feud with Sasha Banks, the current champion, that can definitely propel Bianca Belair to #1 contendership. Granted, we don't know if the champ will be Carmella right now or if it will be Sasha Banks. We'll have to wait to see how, the smoke clears with all that and who will come out as champion. I think that's going to be another really good match that's going to take place. So at TLC. So I think that'll be really good. But nonetheless, we're going to get Bianca Belair facing off against one of these two. I prefer, honestly, it to be Carmella. I just want to save that Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks feud for later on, for the fact that these two are so similar in just their swag and their style that I think that the promos is going to be really good. I think the matches are going to be really, really good. And why not save that for maybe a WrestleMania type feel or a SummerSlam type feel, a bigger pay-per-view. So I'm hoping that if Banks does retain her title, that Belair doesn't get a title shot, at least until a couple months later, maybe allowing her to win that Women's Royal Rumble to get her title shot at WrestleMania. I think that would be pretty awesome. And maybe someone like Natalya can propel herself to get a title shot, maybe at Royal Rumble, if Banks hold on to her title, for the fact that she did beat Bayley. So that should kind of, push her up a little bit along the ranking systems. Now, we also had a match with King Corbin going against Buddy Murphy. Now, Buddy Murphy had Rey Mysterio and Dominic at ringside with him. King Corbin had Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. All right. Now, they used to be in the trio. I'm not sure exactly where the last member of the group is and how they're going to actually incorporate him, or if he's no longer on the roster. I didn't even check that. So, but nonetheless, it's cool to see that King Corbin has a little faction of his own where he appears to be the legit leader. He appears to be the legit number one guy. And that showed tonight in this match, because having Cutler and Blake on the outside of the ring, it actually allowed him to pick up that win over Buddy Murphy. With them attacking Dominic and Rey Mysterio outside, it caused Murphy to come out and pretty much, stop the beating that was happening. And that ran a perfect interference for Murphy to run back in the ring and Corbin to hit him with the end of days and pretty much get the win right there. So we'll have to see what actually happens with King Corbin and his new faction going forward. But I think it's a good look for Corbin. And I'm not really a big Corbin fan. I know he wins a lot of big matches, but he never really gets over the hump. Maybe these two guys is what he needs to actually, reach that mountaintop. I don't see it happening on SmackDown. Definitely not with Roman Reigns as the champion, but at some point, maybe this is exactly what he needs going forward. But we also will have a new tag team. It look like there'll be a new tag team on SmackDown, so I'll be happy to see, Cutler and Blake actually go against the Street Profits and, see how they're looking, because they've been out the ring for a while as well. So we had some good things happen on SmackDown. I wasn't really a big fan of this episode of SmackDown. I thought it was okay. It was fine, but I didn't think it was too much of a good go-home show heading into the pay-per-view. We already knew we was going to get Banks and Mella. We really wasn't sure exactly who we was going to get for Roman Reigns, but now we see that it's Kevin Owens. That should be a decent match. Everything else was just kind of just okay. But I really do hope that they make a match dedicated to Pat Patterson. I would love for them to do like a G1 style tournament. That's how New Japan do their tournaments. To honor Pat Patterson, with the winner getting maybe a trophy and a title shot, an Intercont title shot. We never had a match where I can recall where you win a Intercontinental title shot. Normally it's you would get the world title shot or something like that. But I think that would be pretty cool, man. So that pretty much does it for the SmackDown Replay of the Week. I will definitely drop a full breakdown of the show in the description down below. Let me know what you guys think about the show, everything that went on. Let me know what you guys think about King Corbin and his new faction. Let me know what you guys think about the TLC match between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. Who do you think will come out as the winner? And who do you think will come out as the new women's champion on SmackDown? Or will Banks retain her championship on SmackDown? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. You can also hit me in the DM. And remember, if you didn't see, I had the Stephifies 2 shirt on in the other video. Those are the type of merches that I will be giving away from all sorts of promotions, from AEW, WWE, GCW, Impact. So it'll be promotions from all over, shirts and things of that nature, jackets, hats, whatever, from all over, from different promotions and different wrestlers. Now, that merch giveaway will start on YouTube once we hit 100 subscribers. All you have to do to enter at that point is like and comment on as many videos as possible. The more we see your name, the more chances you have, my phone went off, the more chances you have of actually putting yourself in a better position to get picked, because that's the more we're going to see you. Now on Instagram, it's going to be more something simple where I'll drop a post and I'll say, hey, this is the post. Go ahead, tag 2 or 3 friends. And from this group, we'll pick a random person and we'll just send out some merch just like that. So we're definitely trying to make this definitely a little bit more interactive. So I think it'll be pretty good, pretty cool. And I love giving away merch. I'm a merch guy. I got so many t-shirts and things like that because my whole thing is support the wrestler, and I feel like what better way to support the wrestler than wearing their gear, especially independent wrestlers. So I probably get about 3 or 4 shirts at almost every independent show I go to, just because I want to support the wrestlers going forward. But that's about it, man. I'll be back, of course, after War Games. Maybe I'll watch it live. I've been saying that for a while, but I think I'll watch War Games here live with you guys. Tribute to the troops. I'm not sure if I'll do a video on that. If a lot of interesting things happen, I may give a breakdown on that really quick. But you could definitely expect me to drop NXT War Games replay for you guys. All right. I'm Kato, signing out. Peace.